You guys, ranked mode has everyone so serious about deck building now. I mean, all anyone ever wants is meta this or best that. But what about the goofy, cheesy decks? I mean, isn't there any love for decks that are both successful and silly? Hello and welcome back to TriBit Council, where today is daily video 4 out of 5 focused on deck building. And I think it's high time we give some appreciation and some attention to the sillier decks in Pokemon TCG Pocket. If this is the first video you're seeing in this series, each day for about a week we are covering one deck a day that seems to be doing pretty well in Pocket's new ranked mode. We'll do our normal coverage of strategy, show you an example battle, and don't worry, this is still meant to be a counter to yesterday's Giratina Darkrai deck, but it's gonna be unorthodox, weird, more ridiculous than you're used to. Today we are showing off a crazy combination of new cards from Shining Revelry, and the star of the show is Bibarel EX. I know! I'm as excited as you are to put Bidoof into a deck. Actually, probably more excited, but this deck is actually going to be somewhat viable when used correctly. With the heavy presence of Darkrai in the meta, chip damage is more of a concern than ever. Now, what better way to deal with all of that poking from the back line than to adopt a level of regeneration that would make even Wolverine's healing factor jealous? Do I have your attention now? Good. Then let's get into it. First off, let's talk cards. This deck consists of 2 Jigglypuff, 2 Wigglytuff, not that one. Thank you. 2 Pokeball, 2 Pokecoms, 2 Giant Capes, 2 Professor's Research, 2 Pokemon Center Lady, 1 Bidoof, 1 Bibarel EX, 1 Manaphy, 1 Shaman, 1 Irida, and 1 Potion. Whew, that is a pretty big cast of characters, but now that we know the players, let's talk energy and where everyone fits into the lineup. I know we have a lot of different Pokemon in on this one, but our deck only uses water energy. For a litany of reasons, no others are required. The colorless Pokemon don't need them. Manaphy is a water type, and Shaman is only in our deck to heal others, so water energy accommodates all of that. On top of that though, Irida is able to heal any Pokemon with a water energy on it. So with water energy on all of our Pokemon, that gives us an additional, more potent healing option than Pokemon Center Lady. But I know you're probably wondering what exactly is the strategy with this deck. I'll start out by saying this deck is not super energy efficient, which hasn't really been the case with our previous decks. No, instead this deck relies on the setup of some key Pokemon. Your best possible start is going to be Manaphy up front with some Jigglypuffs in the back line. If that's the case, crush energy output with Manaphy until it dies, and then use its absence to pull in your Bidoof/Bibarel. Since we have so many basic Pokemon, it's very unlikely that you'll get Manaphy off the bat, so Bidoof starting in the active spot also works quite well. Generally, the only really bad option is Shaman, but since we are so energy inefficient, any energy wasted on retreating is a huge setback on your game plan, so just be cognizant of that. With the Jigglypuffs on the back line, you look to evolve as soon as possible to engage Operation Immortal Bidoof. Wigglytuff's signature ability heals any Pokemon for 20 health. 2 Wigglytuffs coupled with a Shaman, maybe a Potion, some trainers, and the fact that Bibarel's attack heals him for 30 damage will make you almost completely unstoppable. A Giant Cape is ideal and almost essential on Bibarel to add to his tankiness. We really don't want this guy getting one shot. But yeah, that's about all you need to know. Stack yourself up and whatever you do, preserve the life of the almighty Doof. But as always guys, this is just how it works on paper. Why don't we hop into an actual ranked battle with this deck to see how it really works. Here we are once again in the ranked league at Great Ball Rank 2, queuing up with our guy, the Immortal Doof. I got nothing more to say. You've heard the battle strategy. Let's just see how good this deck can actually be. As always, I would love for us to get the deck that we covered last video just to kind of show off how this can be a counter for it. A somewhat unfortunate start here with Jigglypuff being our only basic Pokemon, but we'll get them out there. Looks like we've got a Leafeon deck. Maybe Celebi's hidden in there somewhere as well. This is not ideal for us. As I mentioned, getting one shot is kind of the big concern, and Celebi can definitely stack up coins to the point where it can one shot. So this might be a little bit of a race against the clock for us. We'll see how it ends up going. We've got our Professor's Research here, huge because this deck is extremely Pokemon based. We've got our best buddy Bidoof on the field now because of the professor's research, and I'm just gonna preemptively slap a giant cape on that guy. I don't see any reason not to have him as strong as possible, as early as possible. I'm gonna throw the energy on our Jigglypuff, and then next turn I'll debate whether or not I want to switch out for Manaphy or Bidoof. I think probably Manaphy. I think it's still early enough, but we will cross that bridge once we see how the opponent responds with turn 3. Alright, so here's the Celebi EX, just like we expected. I'm not sure whether to be nervous yet. Leafeon hasn't popped out, so they're not generating too much in terms of energy on that Celebi yet. And they missed their first attack, not that damage is a huge deal for us, you know, we are meant to be healing. Let's Pokeball, but then I think we are going to retreat into Manaphy so that we can start developing some energy onto our Bidoof and then our Wigglytuff as well. Just in the off chance that our Bibarel ends up dying later on in the match, I want to be ready with a Wigglytuff to finish off Celebi if that's what we need to do. So we will retreat here. Manaphy jumps in. We can evolve everybody. Bibarel get out on the field. Wigglytuff get out on the field. And I'm going to wait on Shaman. We don't need to heal yet, and having a Wigglytuff out there would be better in the long run. So let's just get our water energy on these guys. Shaman also wouldn't find any benefit from getting water energy attached to them because we don't ever intend on attacking with Shaman. So that's why I'm kind of keeping him back in the deck for now. We'll see if this Eevee gets luckier this time around. Just the one hit, not too worried about that. We can take that all day. But here's where it really starts to matter that we got Manaphy out there, because we can start stacking our energy on the Bibarel. I'll wait on the Pokecoms as well. Maybe if we get a Jigglypuff next turn, I'll Pokecoms to try and get the other Wigglytuff. But then also don't forget, we can heal not just Bibarel, but everybody on our team. So that 20 damage is gone almost immediately, and we're right back on track, stacking more energy with Manaphy, fully healed. And hopefully we don't lose her next turn to continuous steps, getting super lucky and flipping a bunch of heads. Another thing we got to watch out for against this Celebi deck is that Servine turning into a Surviper, or Superior is what I meant to say. Surviper is like a poison type, but we are in decent shape. They didn't manage to get Leafeon out, which is huge for us. We get to retreat now with our Manaphy, bring out our fully realized Bibarel EX, super strong and ready to start sweeping. I'll use the professor's research just to be safe, you know. Might as well have as much in our back pocket as possible. I'll drop a giant cape onto Wigglytuff since it could be used as an attacker at some point. And then let's kill us an Eevee, why don't we? I got a little bit ahead of myself for the purpose of recording the video, but Wigglytuff could have very easily used her bonus ability to heal our Manaphy before we retreated it. So that's something to keep in mind. Wigglytuff's move is based on the active spot, so make sure you're paying attention to the order that you're doing things in when you're going about healing. And so this is great without the presence of a Superior. We can't get one-shot by this Celebi this turn. Next turn we can start to get nervous because it'll probably be 4 energy and then doubled if there's a Superior. So let's really hope that that's not the case, that they don't have a Superior waiting for them on their next draw. Apart from that, it's status quo. We can heal with Shaman. I threw Shaman out there just to get a little bit of bonus healing in there. We can heal with Comforting Song, which will bring us back up to 160, and then we've also got a potion in the back pocket for a full 180 Bibarel. We're feeling good again. I'll throw the water energy on Wigglytuff. It really doesn't matter at this point. And then I probably didn't even need to use the potion, actually, because I always forget this not only does 100 damage, but would heal Bibarel for 30 health. So we're looking really good here. Assuming they don't have a Superior, we probably win next turn. I'm not seeing a way out for them apart from a potion. Wow, that's some pretty good luck that they have all those healing items in there. They're coming back up to full. I guess we're getting a little bit of a taste of our own medicine. Not super concerned with it yet. This is still going to have to be a pretty lucky flip in order to one-shot us. And even if it does, we have some room to play. They have no points. And so as long as we get this Celebi within one hit of our Wigglytuff, we're still going to win this game. We will run through our normal healing procedure. We've got Shaman with the fragrant flowers. Wigglytuff with the other healing. And I'm not even going to try and pronounce it anymore. Carefree Press to get us back up to full again. I'm sure they're getting pretty frustrated at this point. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw a concede. Wouldn't be surprised if you saw a lot of concedes using this deck, because it does feel so, like, hopeless at some point. A little bit cheesy. This is our last turn that we got to cross our fingers. Superior coming through would be a huge upset for us. Still not necessarily a deal breaker. A Leafeon is not great either. That's an extra energy, I think, onto their Celebi. Oh, they may even bring out Leafeon EX into the battle rather than leaving Celebi out there. It's not a bad move. The evolution makes it so that they're not within a one-hit kill. But once again, even if they get to the point where they can one-shot our Bibarel, Wigglytuff is set up and ready to just totally wipe the remainder of the health that whatever is out there after Bibarel sees them. Got very close to getting one shot there. Celebi is a real problem for this deck. But it's not going to happen. Unfortunately for them, that's going to be it. They realize that they concede, and the Doof, the Immortal Doof, has won its first ranked battle, and hopefully the first of many, as you start to use this and have a little bit more fun with your ranked battles moving forward, so you can win and also have a deck that is somewhat goofy. But I think I'm going to motion to end things there. All those opposed, you can click through, check out tomorrow's video, which will show you the counter, unfortunately, for our Immortal Doof deck. And then all those in favor, you can just hit subscribe. That way, either way, we can catch you in the next one. Let me know what you think of this one, guys, if you like the goofier deck, and what you thought of this series as a whole so far. And good luck with your battles moving forward.